Stop moving through life like a shadow begging for definition. Every time you enter a room without intention, you forfeit authority you don't even know you had. And once authority slips from your hands, men of stronger presence catch it instantly. They hold it. They wield it. They use it to shape the environment you should be shaping yourself. You've been taught to believe that people evaluate your words. They don't. They evaluate your posture before your voice. They evaluate your breathing before your thoughts. They evaluate the tension in your jaw before the logic in your sentences. And if any of these signs reveal weakness, you become invisible, not disliked, not rejected, just unseen. You cannot afford invisibility. Invisibility is the first stage of irrelevance, and irrelevance always ends in disrespect. Stop assuming that being a good person or having good motives earns you recognition. The world does not reward inner virtue. The world rewards outer signals. Men who ignore this fall behind silently, wondering why people choose others instead of them. Your posture exposes you long before you speak. Your pace reveals your inner hierarchy. Your eyes reveal your fear or your certainty. Your silence reveals whether you are a blade or an apology. What you must accept now is brutal but necessary. People treat you exactly as your body instructs them to. Your biggest mistake is subtle. You walk into rooms as though you are stepping into their story. But a man with power walks into rooms as though he is adding a new chapter to his own. And people instinctively sense this difference. From now on, you will write the room instead of reading it. Your first task is to confront the invisible error behind all your social failures. Inconsistency of presence. Your presence rises when you feel comfortable and collapses when you feel evaluated. But a man of influence cannot afford such fragility. You cannot be steady only in safe moments. You must be steady precisely where weakness normally appears. Hold yourself like a man used to pressure, not a man terrified of it. Now here is the ruthless law that governs every interaction. Men respect what stands still under confrontation. If your body collapses when challenged, every word you speak afterward becomes worthless. But if your shoulders stay aligned, if your breath stays low, if your jaw stays firm, if your eyes remain steady, people feel a shift. They sense the coldness of someone who is not intimidated by social tension, and tension is where hierarchy is decided. If you can remain unmoved when others push, you rise. If you move too quickly, you fall. You must study the mechanism behind this. Humans evolved to read body language as a survival instinct. A calm posture signaled confidence. A frantic posture signaled danger. A neutral expression signaled readiness. A distorted expression signaled panic. Those instincts never disappeared. They operate now in every conversation, every negotiation, every conflict. People don't consciously think his posture is weak. They feel it. And feeling shapes behavior faster than thought. You become respected when your presence silently triggers caution. Let's go deeper. The way you breathe determines how others treat you. When your breath rises into your chest, you signal fear. When your breath sinks into your core, you signal control. People sense this shift instantly. They don't need to see your chest move. They feel your energy change. They adjust their tone, their distance, their expectations. You must breathe as if nothing in the environment is strong enough to disrupt you. Your shoulders must become anchors, not puffed up, not forced, anchored. Shoulders that subtly open signal a man who doesn't fear confrontation. Shoulders that cave inward signal a man prepared to comply. People push hardest against the man who yields space. They hesitate around the man who holds it. Hold your space. Your jaw is small but decisive. A slack jaw exposes insecurity. A pinched jaw exposes emotional instability. You want subtle firmness, the jaw of a man who expects conflict but doesn't chase it. People respond to that firmness even without knowing why. Your hands are the greatest betrayers of your inner life. Fidgeting exposes weakness. Hidden hands expose shame. Fast gestures expose desperation. Calm hands signal that your nervous system is under your command. A man whose hands obey him is a man others obey. Your eyes must deliver the truth you cannot speak. Certainty. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are evaluating them. You are deciding whether their presence deserves your attention. When someone meets your gaze, you hold it, not aggressively, but steadily. And when you look away, you do it slowly. Breaking eye contact too fast is submission. Holding it too long is insecurity. Controlled eye movement is dominion. Now you must adopt a new identity, a man unbothered by tension, unmoved by chaos, untouched by insecurity. You rise when your body contradicts their attempts to unsettle you. Let's move to structure. Discipline, the behaviors that make your presence inevitable. First, and when you enter a room, pause. Just a second. Enough for your alignment to settle. That pause signals composure. It disrupts the rhythm of others. They feel the shift even if they don't understand it. Your presence becomes the new reference point. Second, slow your movement. You've lived as a man who moves fast because fast movement feels safer, but fast movement is prey behavior. You must move with the speed of someone who expects his environment to adjust to him. Move as though time obeys you. Third, speak less in the beginning. Let your silence introduce you. Let your breath set the pace. Let your posture shape expectations. When you finally speak, your words carry more weight because your stillness framed them. Silence creates value. Use it. Fourth, never break your frame when challenged. If someone interrupts, you don't flinch. You don't rush. You don't defend. You stay aligned, still, composed. That non-reaction is a confrontation stronger than any argument. It says, I cannot be moved by your performance. Fifth, reduce emotional leakage. Every micro-expression that reveals anxiety corrupts your authority. Control your face. Control your pauses. Control your tension. You must become difficult to read. People respect what they cannot predict. Now witness how this plays out in the world. You're in a high-stakes meeting. A man across the table tries to dominate with speed and volume. Before, you would have matched his energy. Now you remain still. You watch him. You let him exhaust himself. When he finally pauses, you speak slowly, calmly. The room feels the difference. His noise looks childish next to your composure. Respect shifts your way without effort. Or imagine you're with friends or family and someone tries to tease you into embarrassment. They expect you to react fast, to defend yourself, to laugh nervously. You do none of that. You hold still. You let the silence expose their attempt. Then you answer with minimal words and controlled tone. They lose their footing. Their confidence cracks. People see the power difference instantly. Composure destroys mockery. Now remove the habits that destroy your authority. Stop smiling reflexively. Stop nodding excessively. Stop leaning forward when insecure. Stop shrinking when others interrupt. Stop over-explaining. Stop apologizing with your posture. Every unnecessary movement is a confession. Stop confessing. Become a man who does nothing without intention. The world respects the man whose presence forces recalibration. Now visualize the closing image. You walk into any setting, work, home, public, and energy shifts. People lower their volume without knowing why. Their gaze lingers on you. Their instinct tightens. You speak less, but your silence becomes heavier than their noise. You move slower, but your pace becomes the new authority. You stand straighter, but it isn't arrogance. It's inevitability. You are the boundary they didn't expect but must obey. If you're one of the few strong enough to carry this kind of presence, leave your mark below and subscribe so you stay aligned with the lessons built for the men who refuse to remain invisible. You have no idea how many times you were dismissed long before you opened your mouth. People decided your relevance based on a single second of posture, a half-breath of hesitation, or one tiny collapse in your frame. You think social losses come from bad luck or unfair treatment, but they come from physical signals you send without seeing them. You've spent your entire life communicating weakness through muscle memory, not because you're weak inside, but because your body was never trained to reflect your intelligence or ambition. And the world judges the body long before it judges the mind. Now you're here because you've finally accepted a truth most men never face. You stay ignored until your presence forces people to reconsider you. Your next evolution isn't philosophical, it's physical. It's the reconstruction of how you exist in space. You need to understand this fully. People form hierarchies instantly. Every environment has a silent structure, and every structure is shaped by posture, pace, breath, eye behavior, and reaction. Men who master these elements rise without talking. Men who ignore them speak endlessly and still go unheard. Stop being unheard. You've already learned how your body betrays you when tension arrives. Now you will learn how to make your body threaten silence instead of revealing fear. You will learn how to stand in a way that changes the atmosphere. You will learn to move as if you expect resistance and don't fear it. You rise when the room realizes you're not shaped by it. Start by confronting your biggest liability, your reactivity. When something unexpected happens, an interruption, a challenge, a disrespect, you react before you know you reacted. Your shoulders flinch, your breath spikes, your eyes shift, your voice rises. These micro-reactions expose insecurity faster than insults ever could. You must train your body to be unresponsive to chaos, not numb, not detached, unresponsive. Chaos should break around you, not through you. Slow everything. Slow your breath. Slow your gestures. Slow your internal tempo. People feel rhythm. When your rhythm is frantic, they disregard you. When your rhythm is calm, they defer to you. The calm man wins by making others feel unstable next to him. Control the tempo and you control the hierarchy. Now look at your presence when walking. Most men walk like they're trying to minimize attention. Feet too close, steps too fast, shoulders too tight, gaze too shallow. That walk signals a man who wants to pass unnoticed, and the world happily ignores him. Your walk must signal inevitability, each step grounded, each movement deliberate. Your body aligned in a straight vertical line, your chin parallel to the ground, your breath steady. You walk like you belong wherever you choose to be. The man who walks like he belongs is treated as though he does. Study the way your face reveals fear. Your mouth tightens when someone confronts you. Your eyebrows lift slightly when you feel judged. Your lips stretch into small smiles to soften tension. These are the expressions of a man negotiating for acceptance. You are not negotiating for acceptance anymore. You are negotiating for dominance. And dominance requires facial neutrality under pressure. Keep your face calm. Keep your eyes steady. Keep your jaw firm. Let tension hover around you and die on its own. Calmness under pressure terrifies those who rely on intimidation. Now examine your interactions. When people talk to you, you tilt your head too much. A tilted head is a subconscious signal of submission. You think it looks friendly? It looks compliant. You think it shows openness? It shows vulnerability. From now on, your head remains aligned. When you listen, you turn only slightly. You look directly, not through peripheral avoidance. Your face remains neutral. You don't reward chaos with frantic attention. You receive information like a man deciding whether someone's presence is worth tolerating. This is how powerful men listen. Next, examine your hands. Your hands reveal everything. They scratch, tap, tighten, twist, hover. Nervous hands create nervous energy. Nervous energy lowers your status instantly. People trust men whose hands remain controlled during tension. Your hands must match your words, not your fears. Place them on stable surfaces. Rest them lightly on your thighs. Interlace them calmly. Present them openly but without softness. Hands that remain visible and controlled signal honesty without submission. Hands are your silent ambassadors. Train them with the same discipline you train your breath. Now examine the way you respond to disrespect. When someone challenges you, you rush to defend your point. But defense is recognition. Recognition is validation. Validation is submission. Stop defending yourself instantly. Wait, hold your posture, hold your breath, hold your silence. Look at them. Let them feel your evaluation. Let them wonder if they miscalculated. Then speak slowly, with fewer words than they used. The fewer your words, the higher your perceived authority. Economy of speech is a weapon of powerful men. Now imagine this scenario. Someone tries to dominate you using tone alone. Their voice rises. Their pace increases. Their eyes widen. They expect you to mirror them. They expect emotional escalation. That's how low-level men communicate dominance. You do not escalate. You de-escalate yourself. You lower your tone by a half step. You slow your timing by a breath. You reduce your facial reaction to zero. Suddenly, their intensity becomes the embarrassment, not yours. Their volume exposes their insecurity. Your calm exposes your power. Now picture yourself in a group setting, work, friends, or strangers. Before, you blended into the background. You watched conversations instead of directing them. But now, you understand the power of physical anchoring. If you want to increase your presence, you must occupy a position that grants visual authority. Stand or sit where you see the entire group. Don't hide behind tables. Don't press yourself against walls. Don't shrink into corners. Corners are for men waiting to be chosen. You are not waiting anymore. Choose the place that speaks before your voice does. Now consider the importance of pacing in your speech. Fast talkers signal insecurity. Slow talkers signal authority. You must speak like a man who decides what he says before he says it. No filler words. No rapid explanations. No apologetic tone. Speak with deliberate silence between ideas. People listen harder when you force them to lean into the gap between your sentences. Silence is the gravity around your words. Your face should reveal nothing unnecessary. Your shoulders should never cave under attention. Your breath should never rise when watched. Your voice should never shake at the edge of uncertainty. These are the attributes of a man who commands social environments without force. Now let's move into the world and see how these rules redefine your life. Picture yourself in a workplace environment. A colleague tries to undermine you in front of others. Before, you would have laughed nervously or over-explained your point. Now, you do something they never expect. Nothing. No laugh. No reaction. No adjustment in posture. You hold still and stare at them with controlled neutrality. The silence becomes heavy. They feel it. Everyone feels it. You speak slowly and only once. They fold internally before they even answer. You didn't dominate them with aggression. You dominated them with absence of insecurity. Now picture a family situation. Someone demands emotional compliance. They speak loudly, waiting for you to soften. But you don't soften. You stay aligned. Your tone stays calm. Your eyes stay steady. Their emotion becomes misplaced. They lose momentum. Others around you sense the imbalance. Your authority rises without you raising your voice. You become the stabilizing force in environments built on tension. Now confront the habit that has kept you small your entire life, collapsing under emotional weight. When tension rises, you shrink physically. When pressure increases, you retreat inward. When conflict appears, you rush to dissolve it. Stop dissolving conflict. Start containing it. Conflict is where dominance is decided. When you remain calm during conflict, the other person collapses first, always, because most men cannot handle their own adrenaline. But a man trained in stillness uses that adrenaline as grounding, not panic. This is how hierarchy is claimed. Now visualize yourself surrounded by people who once ignored you. You stand straighter now. You breathe slower. You speak with intention. You react less. You observe more. You hold more silence. You tolerate tension. You project cold certainty. People start looking at you differently. They speak with more caution. They measure their words. They watch your reactions. They give you more space. They respect you not because you demand it, but because your presence implies consequence. Your consequence becomes your influence. Now picture the final image. You walk into any environment and the atmosphere rearranges subtly around you. Voices soften, eyes track you, postures adjust. People direct their attention differently because something about you feels immovable. You don't rush. You don't chase. You don't react. You don't shrink. You exist like a man carved from conviction instead of insecurity. You become the standard others measure themselves against. And men who become standards never stay ignored. If you're ready to join the few who rise above noise and live with presence that cannot be overlooked, leave your mark below and subscribe to stay aligned with the lessons built for the strong.